What is a big mistake that you think it is okay to make in your career? I was working in a small company, and my boss was a nightmare. He would constantly yell at us for the smallest mistakes, and even when we did things right, he would find something to criticize. One day, he called me into his office and started yelling at me for something I didn't even do. I tried to explain, but he wouldn't listen. He kept going on, and I could feel myself getting angrier and angrier. Finally, I snapped. I yelled back at him, telling him that he was a terrible boss and that he had no idea how to run a company. I told him that he was driving all of his employees away and that he would be out of business soon if he didn't change his ways. I stormed out of his office, feeling a mix of anger and fear. I knew I had just made a huge mistake, and I was sure I was going to be fired. But to my surprise, the next day, my boss called me into his office again. I braced myself for another round of yelling, but instead, he apologized. He said that he realized he had been too hard on us and that he was going to try to be a better boss. He even gave me a raise. I couldn't believe it. I had stood up to my boss, and instead of getting fired, I got a raise. It was a huge mistake, but it ended up being the best thing I ever did.